everybody in the building disappear. That's the way you're looking at me, whispering silly nothings in my ear. Careful now, this could get ugly all night. I give you all my dirty crime. I bet you never had imagined she could be so mean. I'm not careful what you're doing, 'cause if I decide to buy.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. Did I say welcome back or welcome? Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. If you like these types of videos, you know, consider checking the other ones out. And I just want to say I appreciate everyone that has been subscribing to me. Last night I checked, I hit 900 subscribers. And when I woke up this morning, it was like 904. So I appreciate you guys. Like, literally less than 100 more people before I get to 1,000. I'm really excited. I'm excited. Okay. I appreciate all of you that have been subscribing, watching, commenting, liking. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you're new here, I make like kind of any kind of video I want, mostly related to makeup, and I started vlogging and I really like it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm in the business of doing something that makes me happy on my channel, with the consideration of other things people want to see too if they ask for it. So let us get started. Today's look, even though it's a mystery comic book look, this is a recreation of my very first video on this series. I just felt like I gave a generic basic information on VIXEN, and that's what I'm redoing. So I'm gonna tell you guys all about her while I put on my makeup. I just felt like I didn't do her justice. I didn't like the way that video was, and I kind of used the wrong colors. I used more yellows. Well, yeah, I just used yellows in that video, and her costume is more like on the orange side than the yellow. So I think depending on how you're looking at it, but it's like a yellow orange, closer to orange though. And for everything I use on my skin, I am going to leave it in the description box below. But let's start off with telling you a little, you know, basic info about VIXEN. Her real name is Mari McCabe. Mari Jue McCabe. That's her name. She, ooh, something just went in my eye. So she's 5'9". She has brown eyes. I feel like this is the same thing I did with Misty Knight, right? She's 5'9". Oh, what's this? And she has like a short pixie cut, basically what her appearance looks like. And the information I'm going to give you guys is mostly, I'm going to use this Rare Beauty pencil so I can finish it, because I know I'm going to finish it fast, and then I can go back to my my trusty brow products. What was I saying? Just that fast. I forgot, huh? Oh, I was going to say there's going to be maybe like 2 different types of stories that I mention. Because comic books, sorry, I had a brain fart. Sometimes comic book writers, they don't get their information right. They don't get their facts right from the last person. So they just write what they want to, and then they confuse us as readers. But she kind of has like 2 different origin story. I would say for a reason, but I just want you guys to know. I'll tell you one side that starts it, and then I'll move on to the other. Okay, so Mari McCabe, aka VIXEN. In this part of the video, I'm mostly gonna call her VIXEN, And then in the next part, I'm going to call her Mari, and then we'll talk about why. Because they're two different, like I said earlier, kind of like origins when DC was getting their lives together, I guess. Okay, so VIXEN is a DC comic book character, and you guys probably, if you watch like the CW shows, you probably have seen her like appear in one of those shows if you watch the CW, or if you watch any like comic book. She even had her own like animated series, which is pretty cool. She was created by Gregory Conway. I had to look down his name. And Kurt Swan. And, you know, I really, really like her. Out of everything I've watched from her, like, you know, there's some characters that just annoy you. For me, she's not one of those characters. So I really, really like her. So the basics of what we know about VIXEN is that she is a animal rights activist. Animal rights, right? Or animal activist. She really cares about animals because, you know, that is the source, basically the source of her power. She's a supermodel. She's a talk show host. She does a lot. And, you know, this is kind of like the origin story, especially for DC. Almost every like superhero, their parents is always dying. So Mari, VIXEN. When I say Mari, y'all, I feel like I'm gonna be using it interchangeably. Not on purpose though. But at a young age, she saw her mom get killed by like poachers, and then her dad was like gunned down, so to speak, or her dad died in the hands of his own brother. And it's like, if your own brother's trying to kill you, child, there's some family feud going on. But her power stems from, I'm just gonna tell you guys like how she gets her powers. There's this thing called the red, where she draws the source of her powers from, but the totem is really what gives her power. So the story I'm going to tell you guys, if you read comic books, it's before DC Rebirth and before the New 52. This is before that. Like I said earlier, she has like there's a newer version of her, and the one before DC Rebirth and the New 52. So that's what I'm telling you guys now. The story of before the new iteration is basically what I'm telling you guys. So there's this necklace that she has, and she's able to channel, it's called the Tantu necklace, or totem. It's a totem, and she wears it around her neck like a necklace. She taps into it to basically project the strength and speed, or whatever the power of the animal is that she projects, is what she's going to do. So if she needs the weight of an elephant, that's what she's going to project. If she wants to run as fast as a cheetah, that's what she's going to project. So that's basically how the power of the Tantu totem works. Her father gave it to her, and but it was really made for one of her ancestors, and it was made by the spider. Is that what I want to call him? The spider African god named Anansi, and he's a trickster. He's not to be trusted. He's full of shit, and he's full of more shit, basically. So Mari, she was born in Africa, and I'm saying in Africa because depending on, I guess, who's writing her, they don't really specify, like before the New 52 or DC Rebirth, they don't really specify because, you know, they just didn't. They just said she was African. Yeah, they didn't really tell us anything. They just said she was African. Anyway, her dad was a reverend, which is like, it's sad when you see your parents die. Like, is there no other type of origin story that writers want to come up with? Why y'all keep killing these people's parents? What is going on? Y'all don't want none of these parents to live? Like, will people not be a superhero if their parents live or something? Like, is that, and that's probably writing a superhero 101. Make sure that their parents die. Because, I mean, why are everybody's parents dying? Anyway, so VIXEN, for DC Comics, she was supposed to be the first Black or African American female to lead her own series for DC Comics, and then they canceled it. I don't know why they did that, but they canceled it. But she eventually made her, like, I'll say her debut, so to speak, on Action Comics. And it's like I'll try to see if I can find the picture. It's like the one where she's right next to Superman and you don't know if she's going to attack him or she's fighting with him. That's I'll say her very first issue. I really need to dig into why they canceled it. It could be because she was Black and she was a woman. You know, they still do stuff like that today. It's crazy. So, Mari VIXEN, oh my God, I need to get it together. VIXEN was part of the Suicide Squad. So while she was there, she, I'm only going to talk about main events. I'm not going to talk about like every single thing. I'm going to talk about what I think is important, I guess. So she was part of the Suicide Squad, and when she was in the squad, she really like struggled to feel like she was a superhero. Like, she knew she was, but she struggled to believe it, because she killed a couple of drug dealers. But I mean, like, they deserved it. She killed them because they were killing, or they killed a couple of her friends. They were also like models. So like, and she felt like she did it out of revenge. And I guess she felt she shouldn't have, or she knows she did it out of revenge. And I guess she didn't want to feel like that's the type of hero she was. But they weren't innocent people. I mean, like, I get it. Listen, you don't want to be killing people, because then stuff like that, I guess, is going to weigh on you. But it was weighing on her a lot. It was something that she struggled with. And she just, like, it bothered her a lot. Eventually, though, she got over it. And during this time, she was able to connect with Ben Turner. And he is Bronze Tiger in DC Comics. Yeah, he's Bronze Tiger, and they got really close. That was basically her bae. That was her boo thing. And it was like, I'll say right after she got over the fact that she was going through what she was going through. And, you know, her boyfriend, I guess broken people, they attract each other, because he got a lot of problems, child. And then he's also, or like, he was a member of Justice League. No, he wasn't. He was a member of the Suicide Squad also. Wow, trying to explain something off the top of your head and blending your makeup, it seems easy, and I thought it was, but I feel like I'm struggling and I'm jumbling my words together. My apologies. But basically, he was also in the Suicide Squad, you know. I guess they understood each other's pain, and that was basically her boo. And he's a member. What I was trying to say is he's a member of the League of Assassins. So he's an amazing martial artist. He knows what he's doing. He's not somebody you want to mess with, like, at all. So that's who her man is. So after her and him, I'll say, got together and their relationship is like strong, I'm trying to make this like a nice gradation of orange. We'll see. I never know what kind of, I just know the colors. I never know how my look is going to end. We're figuring this journey out together. Okay. But basically when, you know, her relationship is solidified and she know that's her bae, she left the Suicide Squad and she was just basically, I'll call it freelancing. She was doing her own thing. And then she started working along the side of Animal Man. You know, when these comic book creators and writers come up with these names, I always wonder, what was what was going through their heads? Okay, I always want to wonder, Animal Man, really? Animal Man. Anywho, she was working alongside him and they got along really well because their powers are very similar. He can kind of basically do the same thing that she does. But his energy or his power is coming from like a morphogenetic, be a morphogenetic kind of power. That's where he gets his power from. But basically what she can do, what she can do, he basically can do. It's like their power is the same, but it comes from different sources. Yeah. Anywho, so they work very well. Oh, hell no. That is chalky as hell. What in the hell? Okay, I'm back. That was having too much fallout for me, and I need this orange to be a little more orange. So pulling out the jumbo pencil and milk. So what I was saying is she started to freelance with, what's my homeboy name? Animal Man. And eventually, because they worked well together, she was able to join the Justice League. I would say she was able to rejoin the Justice League when they had the event called Crisis on Infinite Earth. When that event happened, she joined the Justice League basically because she was one of the people that fought really well alongside them. So they brought her on, and it was led by the Trinity. And the Trinity, if you don't know, is Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. That is the Trinity. So even while she was part of Justice League, there we go. Even though she was part of Justice League, she was still working very, very, very close with Animal Man. And, you know, their friendship relationship was strictly professional. Animal Man, you know, he really cares about his family. He cares about his family the most and helping people. But his number one priority besides like helping people and saving people is his family. So their relationship is strictly platonic because she's still basically with her bae, Ben Turner. So, but while in the group though, our friend was being everything dropped. Our friend was being a sneaky little wench, okay? She was stealing each and everybody's powers in the Justice League. So the first person, the only person honestly to notice was Superman. He noticed like, whoa, I feel like she's being shady and she's like gaining powers that she didn't have before. And Superman was not having any of that. He wasn't having that. He was like, ma'am, we let you in here, and now you're trying to steal our powers? Why are you like this? I'm sure that's what he said. Why are you like this? They basically caught her, and Superman was like, I can't believe we let you in here and you're doing some shady shit. And they start to interrogate her, and then they realize she's not really the one doing it. She was being brainwashed by, remember the person, the god I told y'all about earlier? What's his name? Anansi. Basically the one that made the totem, the Tantu totem for her ancestors. Yeah, him. He was basically brainwashing her. So it's not like when she took the powers, it became hers. She had to, like, I don't want to say give it back, because it was never hers to keep anyway. So once they call her, she lost it, because they found out that Anansi, the god, the spider trickery god, was the one that was brainwashing her. So, they basically let her go. Because, I mean, it wasn't her fault. What they were going to do? Hold her hostage? They can't do that. So, what happened next? Like, she didn't really have... What happened next is going to mostly be, like, the new iteration that I'm about to tell you guys about. She wasn't, like... She wasn't a huge member or character. She was just like the stereotypical character that they always put, stereotypical black character, should I say, that they always put in these books. So they're like, well, y'all have a black character, here you go. She wasn't really, like, she was powerful as hell. She's one of the most powerful female characters in, as far as, like, whatever it is that she can do in DC Comics, but they don't really utilize her like that. I'm not trying to diminish her. She's done a couple of things here and there. But in that iteration of what I just read, she didn't really do much. Her newer, how do I say it? Her newer story, I'll say, is where she has the most things to do. So after the final crisis, or crisis of, I don't even know how to explain it. Basically, after the crisis, the universe changed in DC. So there was the New 52, and now the most current thing that's going on for VIXEN is DC Rebirth. And that's basically the story That's basically like the origin this is going to shift into. So her origin in this, basically the same thing happened to her when she was like a younger girl. But this time it's like set in, I forget what country it is. I'll put it on, is Zam something. I don't remember. Oh my God. This is why it's good to have notes. Just because you know something doesn't mean you shouldn't have notes prepped. I always have notes, but today, here we are. She, like, saw her mom, like, pass away in front of her eyes. And in this version, like, the same thing still happened to her. She still lost both of her parents when she was younger. But this time, her father knew her brother was kind of, like, I would say, coming to, like, harass them because of the totem. His half brother wanted it, and the dad wasn't going to give it up because he just didn't want, I guess he knew how bad his brother was. He just didn't want his brother to have it. I need to do liner next. That's why I want to say this part before I do my liner. But basically, he went outside to confront his brother, and he told Mari to hide under the bed, so he wouldn't see that. So her uncle wouldn't see that she was there. She did what she was told, but she still heard her father, like, get gunned down by her uncle, her half uncle, basically her uncle. And no child should have to experience that. That's really bad. So I'll say the new DC Rebirth is kind of where things get juicy. Okay, it gets it gets juicy. And new the new I keep wanting to say New 52, but it's not. I guess New 52 and DC Rebirth, as far as her story goes, is kind of like interchangeable. Yeah, I'm gonna do my liner. Okay, I'm not gonna put mascara on yet because I'm still gonna do stuff at the bottom here. So I'm gonna do mascara probably at the very end. So right now I know I look crazy, but let me just do my other eye and we can continue with how juicy Mari and her life gets, okay? I like the way my eyes is turning out, but I feel like this is a little too strong. Okay, I'm gonna try to make sure I finish my story and my face at the same time because I don't want to have like in between lag time or whatever. Next I'm not gonna apply mascara yet. I'm just gonna go in with a foundation. Yes, foundation. So this is the part I think I'm gonna like use Mari more, maybe. Because she's not Vixen up until like later. So basically this is where her story this is like her rebirth. I guess I can call it her rebirth. But basically it's current times. This is when, you know, they're showing her being more like a supermodel and all the like important things she does. She now lives in New York City. She's a talk show host, kind of. Well, yeah. And she has like, you know, all this charity that she does, all these different things that she does because, you know, she got money. She's self-made. And one day she was at a talk show and there was an audience member, a little girl named Charlotte. She basically kind of calls Mari out because, you know, Mari's out here promoting that she's doing all these things for the children or like children's center, stuff like that. And the little girl basically was like, actually, you out here in the streets lying to the people because you said you're involved in these things, but you actually never show up. We don't see you do anything. You're never there, so stop lying to people saying that you're there because you're not. So the girl basically goes on a rant. I mean, no one stops her. She goes on a rant saying that her mom is missing and she's been trying to contact Mari for a long time and she feels like she's being ignored, even though she's supposed to be part of the people that Mari's supposed to be helping, but Mari's not really helping. She's not really helping these children like she's claiming to the public that she is. Like, I mean, she's helping, but she's not physically there like she's telling people she is. She's not like actively there with these kids. So, like I said, the girl calls her out and was like, well, I've been trying to get in touch with you. You've been ignoring me. My mom is missing and no one is helping me. No one is believing that my mom is missing. Because, you know, she lives in a part of Brooklyn that is just like, I guess I'll say run down. Basically, girl, lives in the hood. This girl lives in the hood. And she's like, my mom is missing. No one is listening to me. And you're not listening to me either. And I'm supposed to be one of the kids that you're protecting. But you ain't even doing that. But you're out here in the street lying that you are. You're not helping none of us. You say you are, but you're not. Sis, you're not. So after the talk show, basically, Mari finds a way to get the girl's information. She contacts her agent, Gary. His name is Gary. I don't know why I'm telling this like it's a book. His name is Gary. And she's basically kind of like scolding him, like, all my messages, have they been getting through to me? People are saying I'm ignoring them because, it's kind of your fault. You telling the public that you're out here helping these kids physically, that you're there with them, but you're not. You're a liar. You're a liar. All these, especially these rich superheroes, can you blame them though? They can't be everywhere at once. They're trying to save the world, kind of. But she hasn't been doing none of that because she hasn't used her. Ooh, that is a lot. Let me not take any more. That is a lot. Like she hasn't in this universe, I'd say, she hasn't really used her powers yet. So I think I want a really bright under eye. Let me not do that because the last time I did that, it was a tragic mistake, guys. It was a mistake. Where was I? Oh, I forgot what I was saying. But basically, yeah, she hasn't used her powers yet. So she hasn't been helping nobody besides being a supermodel and a talk show host and having all this money. We can say she's a self-made millionaire, I guess. But yeah, she's self-made though. So, she finally, this is the first time that she uses her power, and she finally taps into the Tantu totem, the necklace, like the totem that she wears as a necklace. She taps into it and she's able to go around. She sees that what her father said about the totem is correct. And because in this new DC Rebirth, she didn't really want to accept the powers. That's why I guess she hadn't been using her powers before this. She just didn't believe in using that type of power. And she taps into it. She uses, she turns into a bear, and she uses the, I guess bears have better smelling than dogs do. So she basically, sorry, I'm trying to get my life together over here. But yeah, so she basically is trying to find the apartment, and then she found it and she saw that the girl's apartment has been just torn up into a mess. So during the midst of all of this, she gets a call from, I guess, her PR person. I don't know what to call her. Her name is Eunice. And Eunice basically tells her, listen, they're onto you. She's her social media person. That's who it is. They're onto you. The internet knows where you are, so you need to get it together and stop whatever it is that you're doing. People know where you are. Eunice basically tries to tell her, girl, stop playing games and come home. You are a rich model. You're not whatever this is that you think you are. Basically, she hangs up on Eunice because she's like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. This is now something that's important to her. So, she's really mad about this, and she wants to make, I guess I'll say she wants to make changes because she can't believe, having all this money, even though she always planned on doing good, she can't believe that one of the kids that she's supposed to be helping kind of fell through the cracks, and no one really is helping the kids. But I see both sides. Like, this girl's like, you're lying to the people, saying you're helping us, but you're not. But she really is. She's just physically not there. She's just not physically showing up. It's like, you know, the kids that Batman is helping, for them to say, well, Batman doesn't come to see us all the time, even though he's donating a lot of money to us to help us. You know, he's not here every day. But also Batman is not saying, he's not going on TV lying to the folks that I'm actually physically here helping the kids. So I see both sides. Charlotte was like, you're not going to get on these motherfucking TVs lying again that you're helping us. You're not here. We don't see you. We don't. No. So basically, Mari is now, she just feels like she has all the money. Now she has powers, you know. She can literally do whatever she wants. And she's helping people in more ways than not, basically. Or in more ways than she had been before. Especially now because she has tapped into her powers. And she's able to do whatever needs to be done. Okay? So with all of that being said, she's kind of like upset with herself that she couldn't believe that she let herself, basically, I'll say, get carried away. She couldn't believe that the people that she's supposed to be helping, all these things are happening to them. And you know what, y'all? I don't really blame her. I say I do, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really blame her. She's now like, you know, not doing as much as she took on before, because now she's going to be like a fighting superhero. So she's back on the talk show that Charlotte called her out on. It's been a while. She's back on that talk show. So now they're asking her like, so what's next for you? What are you going to do? Are you still going to be like a supermodel? What are you doing with your life? And she's basically like, you know, now that I know I'm actually able to help people in more ways than I realize, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a step back from physically, even though she wasn't physically doing it. She's just going to take a step back and have other people run the things that she was doing personally. And she's basically going to fight crime, y'all. I mean, basically. She's a superhero at this point. I know I look crazy, but trust the process. So, at this point, after telling them all of that, she's like, I'm going to step back and I'm going to become a hero because, you know, I can do much more with being a hero than just sitting on the sidelines, basically. And that's when she announces that she's going to be going by VIXEN. And that's going to be her superhero, her superhero name. And she's going to be fighting. I mean, she didn't really say she'll be fighting crime, but basically that's what she's doing. So I'll say, like, I'll suggest, if you guys are like interested, you can watch her animated series. It's really cool. Like I said, like they mix origin stories depending, like, it's really, I feel like it's harder for people now that want to get into comic books because you don't know what issues to start with. It's always so many, like, that's why there's so many Batman movies, okay? There can be so many Joker movies because depending on who's writing them, it's like, it's a different type of Joker. It's a different type of Batman, you know, like different type of Superman. So it just depends on who's writing them. People are always having different issues, different origins. Like their origins never really change, but it can be something that shifts that makes it like the idea is still there. Like hers, the idea was still there. She still lost both of her parents, but one happened in one place and one happened in another, and in different ways, but both of her parents still died. So she's one of the strongest, most versatile female characters in DC Comics, period. So I don't understand why she's not more like, she's stronger than Catwoman. Why is Catwoman getting more. I mean, I would, you know, like they're not putting these people out there. Like I said, if you watch the CW, then yeah, but they kind of also gave her the stereotypical black, let's throw you in there. Like her story is so unique, and I feel like if they develop and if they actually care more about it, she can go far. Her story can go far, okay? I'm not going to talk while I'm doing this because, you know, I don't want to poke my eye out. So, before I do my lips, I can tell you guys, actually, let me do my blush while I'm telling you this. Highlight and blush. So depending on like what you guys read or what kind of videos you watch or whatever, there's sometimes the totem, like she needs it for her to be able to use her powers, and sometimes she doesn't need it at all. It's just the times where she doesn't need it, she only uses it to help her stabilize her powers. Sometimes like she uses it and she's actually able to turn into the animal that she wants to project the energy from. So I know like other people have asked, and because they're like in the same universe, what is the difference between her and Beast Boy? Beast Boy actually changes into like the animals. She really doesn't. It's like in a couple of issues that she was just able to turn into the animals. But she's able to like talk to animals, you know, like with her mind. And there was some issues where she also, oh wow, there's something in my eye. Something just flew in my eye. I don't know what it is. But there's some issues where she's like able to also like, I don't want to say mind read, but basically that's what it is with other super humans, super beings, but it's not like what she's known for. She's known for her totem necklace and, you know, being able to project the animal energy or the animal that she wants. In some issues, she has been able to project even like other superheroes, their powers. At one point, remember I told you guys when the spider trickery spider, oh my god, there's something really in my eye. Every time I film a video, there's always some weird stuff going on. Or when you're in a rush to go somewhere, there's always something. But when you have all the time, your makeup don't ever mess up. I don't understand it. Let me be great. I think there's somebody out there in the universe hating on me. That's why this is happening. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But basically, it was one point I remember her like being able to use Green Lantern's powers against him. But I just felt like they didn't want to make her too OP and like too overpowered. And they just had to like bring it down like, okay, now we just making her being able to do everything. So she's really powerful. We already mentioned that. It's just really amazing things that she can do. The one thing I don't like is the people that they have playing her. Like in the comic books, y'all, one, stop gaslighting dark-skinned people when we bring up problems. She is dark-skinned, okay? And the people that they have playing her in every iteration is like these light bright biracial people. Mari is not biracial, so I don't understand why they keep like the Nigerian American actress that they have. I think she played her in one of the CW shows, and then her animated show, it was her that was voicing her. But it's like, why does Hollywood have the... I'm not going to answer that because I know the answer. I made a video about it. If you want to know, check it out. It's there. It's like y'all don't want to put dark-skinned people where they belong unless they're villains. Y'all know, this is if you're a comic book reader. Every time they have Amanda Waller somewhere, except like the CW show, she's always some dark-skinned mean woman. Okay, friends, that is it. If you watched this whole thing, shout out to you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next one.